Now at 5:30, funding for higher education will be at the center of discussion in Frankfurt today. Why one university president will make his case against budget cuts coming up.
Also on WKYT this morning, tensions continue to grow between Apple and the FBI. The latest on this unique case just ahead this morning.
Lexington firefighters teaming up with UK to show support for a fellow firefighter battling cancer.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. It's really feeling a little bit better out there compared to what we've seen earlier this week.
You're right, and we may get some sunshine this afternoon. Wouldn't that be nice?
Nice.
Yesterday was pretty dreary. Let's check in. Meteorologist Micah Harris is on duty. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we talked about the past few days that today is going to be the day where it starts to really start to look good and also feel much better too. I want to show you this. This is where when we talk about having the clouds overhead and without the clouds, how it gets much colder or it stays pretty or relatively warm. Watch this. You still look across Frankfurt and then work your way across, say, portions of Grant County, Williamstown, and Corinth, bury off into northern portions of Harrison County. Look at your temperature difference. 23 in Frankfurt, 32 now in Lexington. We're talking about a 10-degree swing just because of the clouds. So that's the way it's going to be this morning. It's a chilly start, but a cold start in some spots back toward the northwest. Then as we go through your day, hey, if you're heading out to lunch with some friends, family, whatever it may be, 40 degrees, that's not bad at all. 45 by the afternoon as you're coming home from work and kids are coming home from school. This isn't even close, not even close to being the warmest day in your forecast. I'll show you how warm we get coming up.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll see you in a bit.
Well, today the fight over funding for higher education in Kentucky will take center stage at the Capitol.
Some students are planning to rally while the president of one Kentucky university will make the case against budget cuts to lawmakers. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with details on what will be happening today in Frankfurt. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. The president of Kentucky State University will testify before the House today about how the governor's proposed budget cuts could cripple the university. Last week, President Raymond Burse went so far as to say that the cuts could force the school to close. Since then, he has backed off that position, but he is maintaining that it would be hard for the university to recover from the steep cuts. Governor Bevin is proposing a 4.5% cut in state funding for the rest of the fiscal year. Then those cuts would jump to 9% the next fiscal year. Kentucky's community and technical college system is also protesting the budget proposal. They run over 70 campuses, and they and their students will be at the Capitol building today as well, rallying against the budget cuts. As far as the future of Kentucky State University goes, their financial woes have them in a tough position, regardless of what happens with the budget. According to the State Journal, their faculty members are taking a vote of confidence in President Burse today. If the vote does not go in his favor, he won't lose his job, but that would send a strong message to the Board of Regents about how much faith the faculty has in their president. Certainly some of those faculty members will be watching closely as he testifies before the House later today. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, crews spent hours battling a late-night fire at a Menifee County shopping center. Firefighters say it started around 7 last night at the Trademark Shopping Center on Main Street in Frenchburg. Firefighters from 3 different counties were called in to assist with the fire. As crews arrived, they could see flames coming through the roof. They say it stayed that way even after the roof collapsed. Firefighters tried to save as many things from stores as they could, but they say the fire caused significant damage to portions of the shopping center.
As you can see, we have fought this best we can, and it'll probably end up being a total loss for the Trademark.
Chief Back says some stores in the Trademark were open when the fire started, but nobody was injured. Firefighters say the cause of the fire is still under investigation this morning.
Well, big loss for that community. Well, road crews are still trying to clean up a mudslide on a Rockcastle County road. They closed US 25 near Highway 909 yesterday morning when mud slid right out into the road. By yesterday afternoon, they say all of the mud had nearly been removed when more mud and debris came sliding down. At one point, they were able to reopen one lane, but shortly after that, they had to shut down the entire road again. Again, this is near the Rockcastle-Laurel County line. State transportation officials say they are not sure how long the road will have to remain closed.
Animal Control says 2 starving dogs have been rescued from a Nicholasville home. Jessamine County Animal Care and Control says a tip led them to the home yesterday afternoon. They say both dogs were found outside in the cold and were very thin. This is a photo right here of those dogs being treated, one of them. Animal Control says charges are possible. They say the dog's now in the care of a vet, and they're asking for donations to actually help pay for the dog's care. We have more information at WKYT.com.
Friends and family gathered to say goodbye to a longtime Whitley County man who spent decades serving the community. Former Williamsburg Police Chief Chuck Davis died Saturday at the age of 63, and he was laid to rest yesterday. Along with being the city's police chief for several years, Davis had also served as a detective with the Whitley County Sheriff's Office, as county police chief, and the E911 director. Davis's son said his father was a courageous and loyal man.
In everything that I ever do in life, I hope I do it like he did, because he did it with integrity, he did it with honor, and he did it with a good heart and a good spirit.
In 1991, Davis was recognized as the Kentucky Peace Officer of the Year.
Well, the debate rages on between Silicon Valley and the government after Apple refused to comply with a court order to unlock the iPhone belonging to one of the San Bernardino killers. Don Champion has the latest.
Tech giant Google is standing with Apple as its encryption battle with the government unfolds. In a series of tweets Wednesday night, the company's chief executive questioned the validity of a court order requiring Apple to help unlock the iPhone of San Bernardino shooter Saeed Farouk, saying the move could set a troubling precedent. Some iPhone users flocked to this San Francisco Apple store Wednesday to voice their support.
We understand that they're standing up for us, and we appreciate them standing up for us.
Farouk and his wife killed 14 people in the December shooting rampage. Farouk's work-issued iPhone 5C was found in the couple's getaway car. Federal investigators want to break Farouk's passcode, but first need Apple to create software that would disable the phone's auto erase feature, which would protect any data about the attack. Mandy Pfeiffer, whose fiance died that day, calls it common sense.
I would be outraged if in the future it is used in other ways. But this is an investigation into a terrorist attack.
In a statement, federal authorities maintained the order and request were only for Farouk's phone. Still, Apple CEO Tim Cook says complying would have chilling consequences. The company plans to appeal as early as next week and is prepared to take its fight to the Supreme Court. Don Champion, CBS News.
Well, former National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden voiced his support for Apple. Snowden, a U.S. exile living in Russia, called the move the most important tech case in a decade.
Republican presidential candidates also weighed in on the dispute between the FBI and Apple during town hall events held last night. Donald Trump and Ted Cruz both agree Apple should comply, while Marco Rubio says the issue is complicated. Rubio picked up a key endorsement yesterday from South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. The endorsement comes just a couple of days before the state's Republican primary, which is being held this Saturday.
Multiple U.S. and diplomatic sources tell CNN President Obama will visit Cuba sometime next month. The historic visit comes after the president formally reopened ties with Cuba in 2014, ending more than 50 years of tension. A formal announcement of the trip could come as soon as today. The last sitting U.S. president to visit Cuba was Calvin Coolidge all the way back in 1928. The two Cuban-American Republicans running for president both slammed Obama for making the trip. At a town hall last night, Senators Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio said the president shouldn't go to Cuba until it's free of what they called its repressive regime.
Two controversial statues of Confederate leaders in downtown Lexington will be staying where they are. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, Mayor Jim Gray has decided not to have the statues moved from the old Fayette County Courthouse, but he wants to add historical context to them, and he wants a new public art in that area as well. Last fall, an Arts Review Board recommended the statues of John Hunt Morgan and John C. Breckinridge be moved elsewhere.
A rally was held at the state capitol in support of a bill that would protect gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people from workplace and housing discrimination. 8 cities in Kentucky already have similar laws on the books, but House Bill 155 would offer statewide protection. Supporters say passing the bill is the right thing to do.
I have a transgender son who came out a little over a year ago, and it just sharpened the issue for me to think of the kinds of discrimination and problems he might face in the workplace.
Well, the House Judiciary Committee had a hearing on the bill yesterday, but its sponsor, Democratic Representative Mary Lou Marsden of Louisville, said it does not actually have enough votes to pass. She thinks the bill is a few years away from even getting a vote on the House floor. Well, Lexington firefighters are now rallying behind one of their own who is really battling the fight of his life, cancer. He was diagnosed with it last month.
Ann Logsden, who is now receiving some treatments in Chicago, is being remembered by his fellow firefighters, keeping him in the backs of their minds and in their prayers, and they're teaming up with UK Athletics for a special honor during the halftime of tonight's game against Tennessee. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us from Rupp Arena with more on tonight's tribute. Michelle?
Firefighters will be playing on the court during tonight's UK game. The 10 men and women will play in support of one of their own. UK Athletics asked Lexington firefighters if they wanted to play a game of 5-on-5 during halftime of tonight's game to show support for firefighter Matt Logsden and his battle with cancer. Now, these 10 players will be wearing a special jersey made by Nike with the hashtag Team Logsden on the back. Mayor Gray even tweeted out the names of those 10 players who are playing tonight. Now, they're playing tonight to raise awareness for Logsden's situation. The 42-year-old was diagnosed last month with stage 4 cancer in his liver, lungs, spine, and skull. The 10-year veteran has 3 children and hasn't worked since learning about his cancer. He's in Chicago with his wife trying to decide on the best form of treatment, and his fellow firefighters ask that while he's in Chicago that you support him by cheering on them tonight during halftime of the game, and also by donating to his GoFundMe page. That page has raised over $29,000 so far, and if you would like to donate, you can go to our website, WKYT.com, to get a link to his GoFundMe page. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, Michelle, thank you. It really is a brotherhood with firefighters.
Oh, yeah.
And they are all definitely squarely behind that.
It's great to have them, as a part of the game.
Yeah. 5:42 on WKYT this morning. Let's check live drive traffic bright and early, see what is going on out there, and hoping for a good day ahead. We're looking right now at normal traffic flow throughout most of central Kentucky, as you can see there. And as we move in just a little bit closer, we'll take a look at Lexington, see what is happening on some of the streets. Again, more green, no big problems that you see right now. And we'll keep you informed if we hear of any issues. Current travel times from surrounding cities, they look pretty good as well. Putting Mike at work over there. he runs that traffic computer this morning. 12 minutes in from Nicholasville. It's a good ride. Normal traffic flow from Richmond and Winchester as well this morning. In a Paris trip.
And now Mike is making a phone call.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll give you a play-by-play of what Mike is doing in the Weather Center.
But things are looking good. And it's good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. We have a lot more to tell you about. Hope you'll stay with us as we get Thursday off and rolling.
Whole Foods Market, changing up the normal grocery shopping experience. We'll have a look at what shoppers can get other than food when WKYT this morning returns.
And we're looking at temperatures outside, very chilly back toward the west. Around the rest of the region, we're talking about 30s, but we're going to really see those temperatures rise. I'll talk all about that coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Temperatures this morning, all depends on where you are. If you're in Franklin County, if you're back towards Shelby County, maybe even Anderson County, those are areas it's the coldest early this morning. You go up in toward Grant County and also portions of Harrison County, Cynthiana, Berry, those areas, you're talking about 20s this morning because of the cloud cover. It's really just dissipated in that area, and we expect that to be the trend from west to east as we go through the day. But yeah, where we are seeing some clouds, we're in the 30s. It's not bad. I mean, we've dealt with that, the past 10, 12 days. And so we get into the afternoon. This is the warmest temperature we have felt in 13 days, 45 degrees. It's a pretty nice day in store, especially if you get under that sunshine. It's going to be a big help. Teachers, you can get the kids out today. Remember, though, some of those playgrounds still pretty sloppy. Just from all the rain and all the snow as well, just trying to melt that away. But nonetheless, if you have one of those playgrounds that have, some of the bark and whatnot in there, then you'll be just fine. Heading off into the evening and off into the night, if you're heading out to dinner later on this evening, it's 42 degrees. That's a good feeling at 8 p.m. We haven't felt that in quite some time. Let's talk about the next few days. Friday looks pretty good, very breezy conditions on Friday. And what's happening is you're really getting that warmth flowing in from the south, and it is pumping in some much warmer conditions. 62 there Saturday. After a day around 60 on Friday, 62 Saturday. Both of those days remain dry. Only a slight chance of rain on Saturday. But Sunday, here comes some showers, and that's when things start to change in the forecast pattern again. So here we go. We look toward next week. Tuesday off into Wednesday. Here comes another system coming in from the south. And by this time, you should know what that means. Southern storms, they bring in more moisture and better chances at heavier snow. Northern storms, well, they just come in from the north and they don't have much moisture to really tap into. So don't bring heavy snow with it. But this is another chance, maybe looking at some heavy snow. It's the possibility. It's the same setup as we've seen the past few times where we picked up decent amounts of snow. But yeah, it's all about the track of this low pressure system. You have heard us talk about that time and time again. So we'll be watching that very closely. It's 6 to 7 days out. We have plenty of time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these temperatures. 45 degrees today, 60 tomorrow. And then you can see on Saturday, we're talking 62 degrees. The next few days will feel great. That goes off into Sunday too, but Sunday, obviously, you have those showers around. So that's going to kind of change your plans there on Sunday. But yeah, guys, Tuesday and Wednesday, if you're looking for, if you're one of those few snow lovers, every time I put something on Facebook or on Twitter, there's always one person who says, I love the snow, bring it on. And if you're looking for that, Tuesday and Wednesday is your day.
Well,
your day.
I'm just getting ready to quote your tweet and then say, like the Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to next week.
Don't even look at it. Yeah.
Don't worry. I
That
don't
forecast
even
behind the curtain.
Right.
I don't want to think about it.
I know, nobody does.
Enough already.
Done with it. All right. Thank you, Micah. 5:49 is our time on WKYT. New branding by Whole Foods Market could bring some unique additions to some of their newest grocery stores, including tattoo parlors. Yeah.
Why? Whole Foods plans to open their first 365 stores later this year. The new brand of grocery stores will focus on millennials and include other shops to break up the grocery store experience. Their website suggests the new stores, which will be known as Friends of 365, could include anything from record shops to tattoo parlors. The company says each 365 store could have a different mix of partners. Okay.
Well, I guess next time it snows, people could go for bread, milk, and some ink.
And yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what you want, you know. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
5:50, it's 10 till 6 on WKYT this morning. We'll check traffic again, see how things are moving along. We have health news, what's trending on the web this morning, coming up on WKYT. Good morning from WKYT. Good to have you with us here on this Thursday morning. It's going to be a pretty nice day ahead. 5:54 right now.
Let's take a look right now. Some of the stories are working on for you at this hour.
Firefighters in Menifee County are investigating a fire that damaged a shopping center. It happened at the Trademark Shopping Center on Main Street in Frenchburg. No injuries were reported, but you can see there quite a fire.
The White House is expected to detail plans today of President Obama's trip to Cuba.
It's historic. The visit, which would happen as early as next month, marks the first for a sitting U.S. president in nearly 9 decades. It comes after Cuba and the U.S. moved to reopen diplomatic relations 15 months ago.
Babies are likely to be miserable when their teeth are coming in, but it shouldn't actually make them sick. A study in pediatrics finds that along with irritability, a slight rise in body temperature is a common symptom while teething. But anything over 100.4 degrees is considered a true fever and could be a sign of an illness requiring treatment. 5:54 is the time. Let's get a check right now on today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic. Things looking pretty good out there. No major issues to report for you. Time to check what's making news online now with Bill.
Yeah, we're rolling toward 5 till 6, and on WKYT.com, we of course have all the latest news, including the investigation into that fire that destroyed the shopping center over there in Menifee County. We'll stay on top of that as we get a better idea as to the cause. We still have some school closings this morning. Districts hard hit after that winter weather from earlier this week, and really they've missed several days, and many of these districts now trying to figure out a way to make up some of that missed time. Also trending this morning, a UK mosquito expert is speaking out on the the idea of turning to genetically modified mosquitoes as a solution to try and stop the spread of the Zika virus. It's an interesting story that you want to check out on our website. We're keeping an eye on Frankfurt, where higher education will be in the spotlight today. Universities and colleges push back against proposed cuts. It comes after the Senate approved a bill calling for sweeping changes to K through 12 education yesterday. On Kentucky.com this morning, a look at this year's U.S. Senate race and how it is likely to be an uphill battle for Democrat Lexington Mayor Jim Gray. That story points out that Rand Paul has advantages as an incumbent, and there's, of course, a winning streak for Republicans in Kentucky. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener, and we'll have local updates as well. So join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
We are seeing some patchy fog developing across the region, and so that's really the main thing you got to be watching out for. I'll tell you this, though, if you're back toward the west, if you go west of Lexington, that's an area that we're actually seeing some clearing of the sky, so that leads to pretty cold conditions. 26 degrees right now in Frankfurt, 32 in Lexington, so that just shows you over toward the east-southeast we're dealing with some 30s too. We get into your afternoon, 45 degrees. Let me tell you this is much better than where we have been the past 2 weeks, but this isn't even close to where we're going with our temperatures. It's not stopping there. It gets much warmer. I'll show you that with another hour of WKYT News coming up. If you're about to leave us, well, I hope you have a good Thursday. If not, we'll see you back here in just a couple of minutes.